along with Thrive, I also enrolled myself in a emotions course,
Okay.
and it was called Emotions Exposed. And because I've always struggled with emotions, I never liked showing emotions. I've never liked being around emotions. Everything made me uncomfortable. So
Mhm.
when this Emotions Exposed course popped up in Sabrina Hayshi's online community, which is called Simply Sensational, which I had been following because of Sarah's mind class or master classes, it popped up and I asked her about it. And it was to teach you how to acknowledge your feelings and kind of dig up any feelings that were buried inside of you. And I was curious about this because, like I said, I haven't had a traumatic life or anything, but I wanted to see if there was any underlying
Mhm.
emotions or feelings that I had been burying and bottling up. So I enrolled in this course, and all of these courses, they cost money. I'm investing in myself. I'm investing in my future. I'm investing in my goals with all
Mhm.
of these courses, and I'm leveling up. That's every single class in these courses. I feel like I'm becoming better and I'm taking one step up higher towards where I'm going to be.
Mhm.
So that's why I like to invest in that. But this one emotions course, it taught me how my default emotion is anger and frustration. I wasn't an angry person. It's just what my body was more comfortable jumping to in any given situation.
Yeah, no, I've never seen you as angry, moody. Like we've never even gotten to a fight in our 10 years of a friendship where I'm not like that either. But I can see what you mean by you just jumping to that in your head. You're angry and frustrated. You might not be showing it, or like, but you're not. It's all in your head, right?
In traffic, somebody cuts, fuck you, fucking asshole, like, or I stub my toe and I'm like yelling. Or a good example of this is a couple weeks ago, me and Tyler, my boyfriend, had been in quarantine for about a week, and my mom had dropped off a care package, and my family and I are close.
They're adorable. Well, you
Yeah,
guys
like
are all adorable.
of course my mom would drop off a care package. So I appreciate that. I expressed my appreciation and we brought it in. And then a couple days later, she had sent some cough medicine in the care package for Tyler because he was coughing and stuff. It was pneumonia. It wasn't COVID. Don't be concerned.
We were concerned though.
We
Everyone
were,
was
because
concerned for a while.
it
I
was
was
horrible
like, I
timing,
thought I was
but
gonna die.
yeah, like we thought he had COVID. It was fine. It turned out okay. But anyway, so my mom sent over this cough medicine, and we were on the phone a couple days later, and I had mentioned, we read the back of the label and it said not to use this cough medicine if you have X,
Mhm.
Y, and Z symptoms, which Tyler had.
Mhm.
So we asked a nurse and she said not to take it if that's what the label said. And I ended up telling my mom this because honestly, if you know me, I can't hide anything. I just say things. I just say
Mhm.
the stuff that is on my mind.
Mhm.
So I told my mom this. And after we got off the phone, Tyler mentioned that I maybe shouldn't have said that. Maybe I made my mom feel bad about this. And initially I got annoyed, I got frustrated, and I was angry. I took out the garbage, storming down the stairs, had my garbage, like going outside. And I was about 2 weeks into my emotions course at this point. I stopped, I physically took a breath, counted to 3, and I dug deep into my emotion. And I realized I wasn't mad, I wasn't frustrated. I was sad. I was sad that I might have made my mom feel bad. So then I
Mhm.
came upstairs and I acknowledged it. I accepted that emotion, but then after you do all that, you have to feel it. So I literally just sat down and I started crying. Like I started bawling. And
Oh.
Tyler's like, "I'm sorry that I made you cry." I was like, it's not you, it's me, because like, I'm going to touch on this. Nobody else is responsible for your emotions except for you. Your
Mhm.
emotions are how you're reacting to that given situation.
Mhm.
And it's nobody else's fault. It's nobody's fault, not even your own. You can't beat yourself up over it. But so I had to feel it and release those emotions. Crying isn't a bad thing. Crying is actually one of the most refreshing and relieving things that you can do for your body, especially if you're
Mhm.
feeling these negative emotions.
The way you feel after you cry, it's just like then you start to smile and you start to laugh and you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
exactly.
okay, like It wasn't that big of a deal. Haha.
It's because your whole life you are taught or you perceive that crying and sadness is not okay. Like we're taught not to show our emotions. We're not taught not to feel really in a lot of situations. But after that release of emotions of sadness, I felt so much better and I was able to think clearer about it.
Oh, that's good.
It's stuff like to work through emotions. That's what you need to do. You have to acknowledge it. You have to accept it and then process and feel it. And then it's a process. And I do still jump to anger sometimes, but I have the tools to look back on that situation and say, okay, why was I actually feeling this way? What was I actually feeling? What made me feel this way? And how did it feel in my body? What can I do differently next time so that I can deal with it better?
Well, that's good. Yeah, because I feel like we are different in the way we handle our emotions. I'm not one to really ever cry. I think you probably see me cry 2-3 times in our 10 years. And because they were like big deals, I'm not one to like sit and watch a movie and cry or different things like that. I will cry if I feel like crying. I never push it back. I just feel like sometimes when I'm sad, nothing comes out of my eyes. Just no tears come out. But my point I'm trying to make is that everyone has their own emotional ability, I guess, capability of how they react to it, how available they are to emotions, stuff like that. And I think my whole life I've been very kind of just like, how would you say that? Like I've been very like
linear.
Yeah, like they don't fluctuate up and down. I've never been a very hormonal person. They've always kind of just like stayed flat. It's a good thing, but it's also kind of a curse because then I feel like I never actually feel how I should feel sometimes about things because everyone's getting really excited and I'm excited, but I'm definitely not excited as they are.
Yeah, and like there's emotional people and there's not so emotional people, and that's okay. And for the longest time, I didn't want to be emotional. But I'm Leo. Like obviously I'm going to be emotional. Like I can't hide that. But I would just express it in negative emotions because I felt that was better.
Okay. See, I express it as hard truths and real. I like to be very realistic and kind of hard love and stuff. So I'm very hard on myself. And if I love people, the people in my life, like they all know this, that I'm not going to sugarcoat something for someone to make them feel better. I will never say something to make someone feel bad. I would never make you feel bad on purpose or anything. But I'm also not going to tell you that you look good in something or that I think you should do something if I honestly don't. I will never smile and say, oh yeah, it's okay if it's not. Yeah. But I will never say it in a way that would make you upset or cry or sad. I hope not, at least.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, that's definitely you.
I'm sure I have by accident like said something that crossed the line a little bit at some point to someone or many people, who knows. But I've definitely always try to keep a close eye on saying the right thing and telling people how I actually feel about something, but in the nicest way I can.
Yeah, that's something really awesome that you're able to recognize is how what you say affects other people, but you can't take ownership for that. You can't take ownership for if you say something, like for example, if I say, hey Alanah, how are you? And you're having a bad day and then you get mad, that's not my fault that you reacted that way to whatever I'm saying.
No.
So that's kind of where I'm coming from.
Have I ever done that to you?
No.
Oh,
But
I was like, is this a real example?
No. But
I was like, I didn't think I've ever done that.
You can't.
I get what you're saying.
Nobody is responsible for your feelings, and you're not responsible for anybody else's feelings. So if something or somebody does something to upset you, it's not them making you mad. It's just how you're personally reacting to that situation or that action.